to the channel, everybody. Brendan here. Today we're going to be talking about how to clean rust off of your barbell. Now I'm going to show you two different ways that you can clean the rust off of an old barbell. But first, the things you will need for this project are very simple. You will need an old towel or blanket or sheet or something to cover the floor if you're doing it from a raised position like I am. You will need a can of 3-in-1 oil, which you can find at any hardware store or convenience store. You also need some kind of hard brush that has very tight bristles that will be easy to get into the bar. You also need a toothbrush that's more, you can get a harder bristle, but I didn't really have one, so it's kind of a medium bristle to get in there. But I like the toothbrush because you can really get in there deep because it's nice and small. You also need an old rag to wipe everything off when you're done. And you can't see it right now, but you will also use baking soda and water, and you'll mix it in a little cup or bowl or something. Start out, you take your baking soda and water mixture, and I like to mix it pretty thick, so I put a little bit too much water, but you want a thicker consistency so it won't run off the bar. Alright, so you mix it up a little bit, you make thick consistency of baking soda and water. You mix it up, take the fork out of there, and then you get your bigger brush and you pour, and that's why you put the towel on the floor to keep it from dripping. So you slowly put it on there, and then you rub it in slowly. Slowly rub it in. Spin it. Get the other side. Spin it. Rub that in. Alright, that's the one side. Rub it in on all the sides. Alright. Then you go do the other side. But after that, you let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'll show you what to do next. Alright, so after 10 minutes are up, you take your dirty old rag that I talked about in the beginning, and you just wipe it off. Wipe it off. And then you look at it to see whether it's clean enough and determine whether you might want to go put on a second coat. See here, it didn't really get all the rust, but it did do a decent job. So I think I'm probably going to go do a second coat. After you've taken your towel and wiped off all the baking soda and water mixture, you're then going to take your 3-in-1 oil and your toothbrush, and you're gonna pour the oil along the bar or the grip, close the oil, and then you're gonna take your toothbrush and just rub it in. This will get all the remaining oil, the remaining rust that was left, if you have any, after the baking. And then after you rub it in and cover all the spots that have rust, you just let it sit for another 5 to 10 minutes, and that'll get it real good. And then after that, you'll take your rag again and then wipe it off. And then after that, if there's any more rust, you can go do a second coat of the oil, you know. And then after that, there should be almost no rust on the bar. And then you'll be good to go. And then after you finish this and get most of the rust off, you may see some rust come back, whether it be in a week or a couple weeks. And then all you gotta do is just take your oil and your toothbrush or other brush and just rub it in, and then that's all you gotta do to maintain it. You just, maybe once a month, you just come out here and brush the oil in, and then that'll clean most of the new rust off. Here is a before and after picture of the bar that I took the rust off of. There are a couple things that I suggest that you don't use when cleaning your bar and trying to get the rust off of it. The first thing would be a super tough brush that could hurt the bar or hurt the finish on the bar. It could be, I suggest using a plastic or non-metal brush, because a metal brush, that could scrape the finish off your bar, and if you spend hundreds of dollars on your bars, you wouldn't want to scrape the finish off, because then that would make it easier for the bar to rust if you take that finish off. So I would not use a wire brush, and I would stick with the plastic brushes. Another thing is that don't rush it. If, like I said, to wait 5 to 10 minutes, it doesn't hurt to wait longer. If you have the time, don't rush it. It'll make the project turn out a lot better, and it'll take a lot more rust off if you just let it sit longer than 5 to 10 minutes. Another thing that I suggest is, if you can possibly do this outside, because you will create a mess, and I did say to put a drop cloth or a towel or something, but it's still going to be messy. So I would suggest do it in either a basement or a garage or outside if you can. It will make cleanup a lot easier. Another thing that I would avoid using on your bar to remove the rust are chemicals that are meant to remove rust. Although they may seem like a good choice, they could also damage your bar by taking the finish off, just like using the wire brush, because it could remove the finish, and therefore it would not be good to use. If you can, please take time to share this channel and this video with somebody else that might enjoy this type of content. It's important for me to help others that are trying to start a home gym or are starting a garage gym, and I think that my topics would help them out, and I think it would be useful for them to see my videos and watch them, and so they can start their gym a lot easier and avoid some of the simple mistakes. I hope you enjoyed this video about how to clean the rust off of your barbell. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time.